This video is called Chris Chan's Public Announcement. In case you guys don't know what this series is, this is the CWCville podcast where me and Rogue watch Chris Chan videos together.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite pastime.
The description on this from the quickie itself is this was the first YouTube video posted by Chris Chan since launch of his ED page. He prefaced its release by uploading 6 older videos of his accomplishments to YouTube during the few days previous in the hopes that they might better frame him in his plea for understanding. Chris Chan assumes that ED contributors have simply misunderstood him and his works, consequently attempts to reintroduce himself in order to start over on the right foot. Oddly, Chris loudly inhales between each of his sentences a lot in the video.
A lot of work for him.
As we can see, Chris is wearing a weirdly unique shirt. I don't know if I've seen him wear this one too often. It's like a dark green, almost a black, with yellow and red.
This is the only time I can remember ever seeing it. I don't think it ever appeared again. At least that I'm aware of.
It almost looks like a thick winter shirt. I've never seen him wear one that actually looked baggy on him. Usually they hug onto his skin and make him look even fatter.
At least he was cozy here.
Yeah. And his room is the worst I've ever seen it. Like, it is a complete pigsty. I want to know if he actually played that Dance Dance Revolution in the background.
Oh, there's no fucking way. And if he did, he wasn't good at
it. I never seen him play it.
My name is Christian Weston Chandler from Rutgers, Virginia. It has come to my attention that I have a lot more fans of my electric hedgehog.
Electronic hedgehog. We already got a super chat from Silent Wyvern. Birds are the government surveillance drones. They aren't real. The CIA uses them to gang stalk you and sell your information to Facebook. They wouldn't sell your information to Facebook. They'd sell it to Google, but good try. But yeah, fucking electronic hedgehog. Fucking Sonichu is a robot.
If you had any doubts, this is the confirmation.
A Pokemon Sonichu than I had originally thought. And I thank each and every one of you for your support. And I will draw more comics when I get some positive inspiration.
I love that the camera is so shitty, you actually can barely see his lips move. So it's almost like he's animated. Like it's a deep fake of some type. I can't see his lips move the right way for the words that are coming out of his mouth.
It's honestly like some of these older videos remind me of like something out of a found footage film.
It does, especially with the hum.
He vaguely looks like the antagonist of the second Human Centipede film, and it's actually pretty fucking uncanny.
Or when I feel like it.
That's the truth. That's as close to the truth Chris will ever give you for his drawing schedule. Whenever I feel like it. Might be 5 years, might be 2 months.
A lot of sense right now.
Now he straight up lies. Before, at least he told the truth, like, I may not never draw.
Everybody has a life, so do I. I have a life.
He does not have a life.
What are you talking about? That's obviously, he's living his best life here. This is around the time when his life was the best.
Yeah, just about, besides Mary Lee Walsh.
Oh, of course. But what's life without some fucking trauma?
Yeah, he always made it, like, that's like the bedrock of his comic. So if Mary Lee Walsh wouldn't have ruined his plans, he probably wouldn't even had an antagonist for Sonichu.
He'd probably find some way to make it a story about how his parents have all these rules and shit.
Imagine if fucking, what's his face, Walter was actually, like, the main fucking villain. The fucking Walter Grisby guy.
Want to see that now.
That'd be the only other person he could make a villain. He didn't think of Count Graduan for a bit, so what else does he have? Fucking Metal Sonichu?
Is there ever... It's been a long time since I've really read the Sonichu comics. Is there ever really a consistent, like, villain? Like,
no.
There's so many of them. None of them seem to really have a... I understand why, because he doesn't like them, and I know they're bad for the sake of being bad. It's very basic plot shit, but I've always felt like there's never really a concise reason why they do the shit they do, and none of them seem to have any continuity.
Weirdly enough, for some reason, all of them work for Mary Lee Walsh, but Mary Lee Walsh works for Count Graduan, who had nothing to do with the private villa corrupted citizens. So their whole fucking hierarchy makes no fucking sense at all.
And Graduan's just a manifestation of when he graduated, right?
Yeah, but in lore, he's an actual magical wizard who, like, reincarnates.
What the fuck's his problem?
Apparently, like, the Cherokeans killed him, and now he's forever reincarnating, trying to kill the Cherokeans.
He probably had it coming. Fuck him. Fucking, what? So fucking what? That's not Chris's fault. I mean, he's just being an asshole. He's picking on some fucking autistic guy. What a prick.
According to Chris, he's Cherokean, even though his DNA says he's not. But whatever. They never even mention the Cherokean. I know this is a complete side tangent, but they never mention or show the Cherokean crown after its first appearance. So it's like, what the fuck is even up with the stupid fucking Cherokean crown? And that's important because all of the fucking Sonichu lore circles around the fact that Chris Chan is Cherokee, but they never fucking do anything with it.
It's just plot relevance. It's the plot gods determine when things are important at that moment.
Also,
there's got to be something where, similar to like Cinema Sins, where it marks down every fucked up thing that's in the Sonichu comics.
They'd run out of pings. They'd run out of fucking pings. You'd just be hearing dinging every fucking 5 seconds.
You start hearing the pinging machine start sparking and catch fire.
That's about it.
Anyway, it has also come to my attention that I have a lot of people who may have picked up on the wrong theories of my person. I will not quote any hate sites, but I would like to humbly apologize for appearing to be some kind of sleaze, troll, badass, or whatever adjective.
I love how he had to give himself a positive one at the end.
Yeah, I look at this man and I shake in my fucking boots. I've never seen such a badass man in my life.
He gave himself 2 negatives and then a positive.
If you saw this guy walk up to you at a bar, what's the first thing you do other than shit your pants? You run.
I mean, he's shitting his pants, so why not when you're in Rome?
It's all over his fucking back.
When in Rome, fucking shit your pants.
Dirty, crabbed fucking briefs.
Tips, good or explicit you may feel about me. Please understand, I am a 25-year-old high-functioning autistic male with a simple, peaceful dream of becoming a father of a sweet, little pretty girl who I will dub the name Crystal Weston Chandler.
It's a simple dream, guys. Just leave him alone. He has to get laid. Now, he's allowed to be racist with his demands. He's allowed to pick on fat girls and ugly girls. Just leave him alone. He wants to have a daughter.
He doesn't want to put in the fucking effort, though. It's only a simple, peaceful dream because he wants other people to do all the work for him.
I'll give you a spoiler for the Sonichu tier list. Chris Chan's number 1, fucking Magi-chan's number 2. There. I know it shocks literally no one. They're the strongest characters in continuity.
Why couldn't Chris just keep Sonichu as the central fucking character? Why was that so goddamn hard?
Because he wanted to be the main character. Sonichu was just an extension of him to begin with. He put himself back in immediately after. He was absent for half of an issue, and then he came back.
He should have done it a lot fucking more. At least put in more. He could have put in more of the fucking scenes with Sonichu and Rosachu.
He tried that. That's what I was referring to, issue 11. In issue 11, they start out with a Sonichu-only story. And for the beginning part of it, it literally is just the Sonichus. But then by the end, Chris shows up anyway in his fucking woman form. And he steals the show again.
Oh.
Beautiful. Who would make a worse parent, Chris Chan or Pamper Chew? That one's hard.
Pamper Chew. Pamper Chew's a pedophile.
Yeah, I'd rather go with fucking Chris Chan, where like you're just gonna be raised to be a man baby, than to be raised by a man baby.
Like, Chris wouldn't want you to shit on yourself. He'd probably want you to clean your dirty, crapped briefs, even though he's shitting on himself. But Pamper Chew said he outright wants he had like a dream of a 7-year-old child with like pissy diapers coming up to him and like he was cuddling with them and shit.
Ew.
So I feel a little more comfortable with Chris.
At least with Chris, worst case scenario, you end up having to raise Chris Chan, but that's about it.
The child has to raise Chris.
That's your worst case scenario. Or he forgets to feed you.
This fucking cat. You die under a pile of Barb's fucking trash.
The dark ending.
Oh, shit.
You just gotta eat his Cheeto crumbs and you'll live.
Rat shit.
Crystal, a name that sounds similar to mine, but it has a nice ring to it, and it's also similar to the illustrious metal that is mined from the Earth's ground. Weston.
I don't think that he ever intended it to be the fucking Jim. He just wanted it to be his name, but female.
That's precisely it. He wanted it to just to carry on the torch. That's literally all it was, and just that, and she had to have a pussy. That's all that mattered.
I think that he didn't know the name Christine existed for a while, because he kept naming characters Crystal, and then like way later on, he's like, "Fuck, Christine's a name."
Fuck, he should have just called himself Crystal.
That's what I'm saying. Like even when his fucking even when like shit happens later, it took forever, and now there's like 8 fucking characters with some type of Chris name. And there's like Crystal, Crizzle, Crystal, and Christine. And there's 2 Christines in the comic.
Yeah, see, that doesn't get anywhere. That's not confusing at all. I can make sense of that. I don't know why you're having issues with it. I'm having an easy time understanding this. This is very fucking cohesive.
Not to mention, there's Christina Quickville, Christine of our dimension, who goes to Quickville and interacts with the other Christine. And then there's the fucking Christine Pony from fucking My Little Pony. Those are all 3 separate fucking characters that are all Christine.
I mean, it's bad enough the franchise is filled with fucking recolors, but then he's just gonna recycle fucking names.
And then we want to go even more autistic. Nate Zirk is Chris Chan backwards. So there's another Chris.
Fuck.
He literally has 8 different characters named Chris.
I love how he feels so fucking self-important, man. That just, you gotta give him credit. He had some fucking confidence. Or at least a little bit of it. Because didn't he have like a concept for a video game that was all centered around him, like his Adult Chronicles or some shit?
Yes, but even though it's named that, he planned for all the Sonichus to have their own story in it. Like Sonic Adventure.
Well, wasn't that the fucking point of the Sonichu game to begin with?
Yeah, I don't know how it would tie in with him. The only way it was tying in with him is that they fight Mary Lee Walsh. That's it.
There's a whole quick time event where you drink your own navy.
And quick time is spelled CWC. God.
Fuck no.
My mother's maiden name and a proper English name from royal descent. As a matter of fact...
You know, some people have shit on Chris and really doubt that he is of English royalty. I'll give him that, because they're fucking inbred. I'll give him that. I think he's of English royalty.
I buy it. I ship it.
Have you ever seen the artwork where they make fun of his fucking ancestor, like his fucking... like, the guy who says he's related to?
No, I haven't.
They have, like, old English artwork where they try to write, like, old English poems about him. And how much of a fool he was. It's hilarious. Yeah. Chris Chan is, like, George Foreman. Name a bunch of people after him. If I do mean if the world was blessed with Chris's offspring, they'd all be Chris. They would all be named Chris in some way or fashion. Like, he'd come up with like 8 different ways of Chris.
Do you think they'd be better than him though?
That's not a hard goal. That's not a hard goal. Fucking finger paint inside the lines and then boom, you're better than Chris. It's not hard.
Side in the ancestral traits, we have been traced down to Daniel Weston, who was on the Mayflower voyage, and beyond him, Anne Boleyn, who was the one of King Henry VIII's wives, who gave birth to Queen Elizabeth I. And Chandler, the family name my father had. And from his line, from his side of the family, we have the Cherokee blood on 116.
He does not. He did not. In fact, he got fucking Jewish blood from Bob. He's not Cherokee at all. Bob lied.
Well, he's got to have those trophy points, man. The brownie points.
I actually ended up looking it up because I was curious, and there's actually a large thing in American history where people pretend to have Cherokee blood. So Bob was one of those people where they're fake Cherokees.
Do you think he tried to get reparations at some point?
I don't think they ever tried to get a roll card or anything, but Chris got a fucking blood test done, and he has fucking Ashkenazi Jew in him. He's not fucking Cherokee at all.
And from among us Cherokees, there are very few of us left because we were big in number, but then came along the forced march on the Trail of Tears.
Also, he's fucking stupid. There's plenty of half-breed Cherokees out there. There's not a lot of purebred Cherokees left, which he wouldn't count. Even if he did have like 1/16 Cherokee in him, he wouldn't fucking
He's too
count.
fucking white. He's way too fucking white.
There's plenty of half-breed Cherokees left. I've got some, I think, in me. I've got like 4 different tribes in me. But it's not hard, especially if you're in Oklahoma. You can find a shit ton of Cherokee people. But to think that you're one of the last ones, you're fucking stupid. There's plenty of Cherokees left.
He's not white at all. Look at that motherfucker. Look at that skin. He's obviously Cherokee.
He was glowing in his last appearance. Like, he was actually glowing in the sunlight.
Well, that's his Cherokean power.
Well, some of us went into hiding.
Oh yeah, we're the fucking Jedi. We fucking went into hiding after the white man took over. What does he think the Cherokee are?
We have to hide our cartoon stereotypes.
We have to hide our Cherokee magic from the white man.
Yeah, short line there. Cherokees, we're a respected tribe. We should be respected anyway, even though we were forced into the Trail of Tears. But I
am 100% convinced that Chris does not know what the Trail of Tears is.
Oh, no fucking clue. He literally thinks it's a trail of where they left their fucking tears. Like Hansel and Gretel leaving fucking breadcrumbs.
He's never once described what the Trail of Tears is. He just keeps saying it was something that happened. Like,
is that canon to the Sonichu universe?
Yes. Someone said we cried many trails of tears in the comic. They actually say that word for word. I don't think he knows what it is.
That's a whole other story. You can go read. You can learn about in your local libraries. My mother and my father are both really nice, old-fashioned type people. We're not
racist. just say it. Just fucking say it.
Cross is burning, boy. Yeah, very, very old-fashioned. You know, I think Bob might have been really down to fucking earth. Very world conscious. He's very world conscious, but he certainly didn't like the blacks. That's for sure.
Fucking Bob. I love the way he interacted with the fucking people who called him up.
He was a badass. I miss Bob so much.
You better shut the fuck up, boy.
Imagine working retail and somebody wrongs this old fucker, and he comes up to the customer service desk, and you have to fucking deal with this old belligerent racist fuck.
I only gave me birth at their ages, which my mother is 66 currently, and my father is currently 80. They both just turned that way in the last couple of months. And I was born
in 2027. Bob will be 100.
Holy shit!
Bob will
that should be declared a holiday.
Bob will be 100 in 2027.
That's fucking wild. Dude, he's fucking prehistoric.
Chris was like, I was promised 15 more years with Bob. And I'm like, he would have been 90-something, Chris. Like, I don't think you would have wanted Bob to be alive that long.
Have you seen how he recanted how Bob died and now says that he died from a loud noise?
He's a fucking liar. Chris is a
Yeah.
goddamn liar. You can't trust
He said the
anything.
nurse made a fucking loud noise and it startled Bob, and that's what fucking killed him.
He's a goddamn liar.
So he was murdered through sound waves. Okay, sure, Chris. I
What?
bet it was Mary Lee Walsh getting him. I'm very fucking sure of it.
What fucking happened is Bob was bit by bugs at Chris's house, and then he had to be rushed to the fucking hospital, and then he had complications from that. That's what
Yeah.
fucking happened. Chris just doesn't want to admit his house was filthy and covered in bugs, which they've already had to deal with before, because Barb also had to be treated for that shit.
Oh, God.
In 1982, they gave me the birth. Then and anyway,
Man, they gave you the birth? Not they gave birth to you. They gave him the birth.
there was some nice of them for them to give me the birth during the early 1980s.
I love how he doubled down on that, giving me the birth. He doubled down on that phrasing.
I was diagnosed with high functional autism, and I lived a somewhat rough life. I've had an abusive babysitter at one time.
I love how he's trying to get the sympathy points immediately. I was abused.
Of course. Look, this is a battered man. A broken fucking man.
And some of the teachers and principals of Nathaniel Green Elementary School.
The fucking Nathaniel Green had multiple principals, and they all abused him.
It's a fucking gang up.
And I was attending in later years, about late 1980s, early 1990s. They abused me. They abused me by pinning me to the ground with their hand, holding my wrists and my ankles, pinning me down to the ground, and audio taping my cries and shouts. But anyway, my mother and my father, they both fought the courts.
If that is a true story, I 100% believe it's because Chris tried to fucking, like, he was trying to curse them or something. Like, he was trying to hurt them, and they had to pin him.
No fucking doubt about it. That Curse Yamaha shit has to be something from childhood.
Yeah, because, like, when he got kicked out of the mall, they had to pin him down to the ground like that. When he got arrested by the cops and Barb was getting arrested, they had to pin him down because he kept trying to flail up and he was screaming the whole time. So I'm 100% convinced Chris tried to do something and they had to pin him down.
Probably learned behavior from Barb. Because every time she's interacted with the cops, she's always gotten belligerent.
We got another super chat. Dylan, please be of the giving me the birth.
System, the Greene County court system, which they were not a very nice bunch of people. Very not.
Everyone's bad but me. The courts are bad. The school is bad. Everyone.
He's just an innocent fucking bystander.
Hands down. But anyway, we eventually moved to Chesterfield County for a nice better school system. And one teacher in particular of Providence Middle School, who I would like to give much kudos to, who not only let me, it was a good person to go by during my mainstreaming. She was also a good leader in my learning to cope. I wish to give kudos to Mrs. Virginia Janice Sanford of Providence Middle School in Chesterfield County.
I love that in his video, to get people to stop bullying him, he randomly mentions one of his teachers by name.
Of course. He had a good relationship with her.
It's like, guys, please don't bully me. My teacher, she helped me out a lot. Like, what the fuck? That side tangent out of nowhere.
That's his guardian angel.
Whose picture is in the trailer of my CWC on TV DVD, which is also on the YouTube. And after being on honor roll throughout
I'm on a roll. He was not on honor roll. He's a fucking liar.
There's no fucking way.
Grades.
Yeah.
His grades are public now. He was not on honor roll. He's a fucking liar.
Yep.
Middle and Manchester High, Science U was first thought up in my senior year at along with
it cut out at Matt, and then he just keeps going. So his camera was shit back then too.
Gotta love it, man.
nice bunch of teachers backing me up in my circle of gal pals. I mostly had that circle during my high school years. Anyway, after all that, I graduated. Then we moved back to our old home in Ruckersville, where I attended Piedmont, Virginia Community College, and eventually I graduated from there too.
He keeps moving his body up and like back and forth. Do you think he's like farting, or do you think he's
got to pee?
Do you think he's like nervous?
He's got to pee, man. He's been holding that shit.
And for
you try sitting there with a bladder full of Fanta.
For people who are wondering about the farting thing, he's actually done that multiple times in other videos. Like, he'll leave a loud fart, and then he'll just keep recording. He'll leave it in. Like, Chris is gross. Like, he's actually gross. And he has all the capability to edit that shit out, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, because it adds flair. Women love flatulence.
We got a comment from ADE. What do you think happened? What do you think will happen when Barb dies? I've said it multiple times, but I'll say it again. Chances are someone's going to adopt him, and I think it's Noel again, because Noel has been working with Chris again, and he's been getting Chris Chan interviews. So Noel is back to helping Chris. So I could see him adopting Chris.
That'd be an interesting pairing.
One of them's gonna kill one another. I'm calling it.
Well, fuck. I mean, he could honestly. If I was in that position and I had to like live with Chris, I'd find a way to monetize him. Just find some way to just have his thoughts and everything put out where people could invest money into it, because that's the only way he's going to be worthwhile, is if he's bringing in some kind of money. Otherwise, he's just a pit.
Yeah, I think he's going to blow more money than he'll make in the end. That's the problem.
Yeah.
With a degree in computer aided drafting and design, also known as CAD CAM. And during my high school...
Despite having said CAD degree, I've never really seen him do too much technical shit on the internet to which I would feel like he got his money's worth. Like, his websites were always pretty shit and mostly templated.
Hey, with that shit, is it mostly just like web hosting shit, or is it like general computer usage?
It should help you like actually design websites. That's what the degree he got should help him do. But all of his websites were really basic, and he didn't even know how to work it half of the time.
I've known a handful of autistic people online, and I've noticed some similarities with shit like that. Like, one of my best friends is he's an IT. Well, he says he is. And for his Gary's Mod server, he used to have a custom loading screen, and the whole thing was made out of a stripped down Wikipedia HTML. And it just looked like total dog shit. So I think it's just something that comes with the nature of his disability.
Yeah, probably. He was terrible with internet security, though. Like, he constantly just let people have, like, the back end of his websites, and then they'd fuck it up. And he's like, now how did this happen? It's like, what the fuck?
He's too trusting.
God.
Years, I was used to being surrounded by girls in my circle. And after having to lead them, I felt ever so lonesome.
Ever so lonesome?
I feel for him, man.
That's how he's gonna win people over. I have to harass women on the streets. I'm lonesome.
I have no friends. Please love me.
And after the stress from some of the people at PVCC, as well as my mental block of autism, it became hard for me to approach the girls like I used to. And I would like to point out...
He never did. They approached him.
Yeah, that's what the attraction sign was for, and that didn't even work too good.
Right now, during my whole sweetheart search has started when I turned 21 on February 24th, 2002. Anyway, beyond that date, I never have stopped anybody. Never.
Megan would disagree. Megan would disagree.
Feel sorry for Megan.
He is definitely a stalker, and fucking now, since we have like 20 years, 10, 15 years of hindsight, we know that he stalked Doopy Doo-Over, he stalked other women online. He actually is a stalker. I will never say Chris isn't a stalker.
No pussy does things to a man.
Why does Chris sound like Butters from South Park? It's because he's trying to play like he's innocent. He's really trying to play up his innocence right now.
Oh, yeah.
have stalked. I'm telling you right now. All I did was sit around with a sign by my side that said I was looking for a boyfriend.
His fucking friend, literally described her first meeting of him as in he was stalking back and forth in the mall, and then they waved at him, and then he immediately ran up to them and started harassing them. I've never stalked
Women
anyone.
love that shit, dude. Women love confidence. They love it when you just fucking pace around like you're plotting to kill somebody in a public space, and then when you accidentally glance at them, you run over, and you just fucking make them uncomfortable. Women love that shit, dude. I don't know what planet you're from, but that's how I always get the bitches.
He left out the part where he sings, too. Like, he was singing in the mall, trying to attract women to approach him.
Women love soapboxing. They like dudes who... The only thing he's missing is a Bible and screaming at people about how they're going to hell.
Give him time. He's not too far off now.
He's going to use Sonichu comics. You're not going to survive the merge.
Fucking pepper spray you if you disagree.
Free girl, 1825, yada yada yada, all that page. And I did all that because I have feared rejection and the infinitely high boyfriend factor, because you cannot tell which ladies are paired up and which are not. And wedding rings, that's just a whole different story, because they're married. Because it's not like you give every woman a ring who's...
Christian 100% proves why he'll never get a woman just with that statement. Like, he won't try to get with someone unless he 100% knows they're single. Like, he won't talk to them, he won't associate with them, he only wants to know them, so then he can date them.
Well, that didn't even matter either, because, like, remember with Casey? She was supposedly in a relationship with Liquid. And
well, with that one, he rationalized to himself that she loved him because Liquid was pretending to be him.
That's true.
So
okay,
in his mind, he already won her.
And he didn't even have to try.
But then again, he fucking tried to steal What's-Her-Face away from Lars, so he's just a fucking liar. That's the reality of it. Chris always fucking breaks every one of his rules eventually.
Of course.
Who's already paired up. This is one perspective. But anyway, I do not move from my seat at all, unless I need to go use the restroom. That's it, okay? I never move.
That's why they said he was loitering so much, because he just sat in that one seat all day. But he did get up, because they fucking, at Target, they straight up said that he was abusing the free refills. So he had to get up.
He had no choice. It was that or get detained.
From my seat while I'm sitting around waiting for the girl to come to me. Because that's all I'm doing there. I'll just wait for a girl to come talk to me, because... like I said, I'm afraid to approach him at that point. So please understand, I am not a violent person. I'm decent. I come from a caring, loving pair of parents.
I love that he says he's not violent now, but give him time. At the time, didn't he already fucking get mad at fucking Adam Stackhouse and was shooting, like, fucking posters with his face on it?
Oh, that's normal. This is you don't have to worry about Chris at this point. That angry kids that do shit. That's cartoon shit.
Well, that's still violent tendencies. That shows that he's fantasizing killing someone.
Boys will be boys, or girls will be girls. I'm sorry.
Others will be others.
Exactly.
I'm kind. I'm considerate. I will respect your space and your feelings.
He's a fucking liar. He's a
Redditor.
I don't even need to tell you that all that's a lie.
I believe him. I trust this man.
Just Megan alone, he broke all of that. I'll respect your privacy. I'll respect your space. No. He'll draw himself fingering you with his fucking fucked arm.
I kind of want him to put his finger in my butt.
And I apologize for my MySpace profile if it appears to reflect anything on the contrary of all that. I apologize that I appear to be a slow-minded person.
I love his I love his impersonation of a retard. Slurm.
He literally thinks they actually are slow. Like their brains run off a dial-up or some shit.
He doesn't realize that he is that, though. That's the thing. Like, I love it when he makes fun of mentally handicapped people, because he is mentally handicapped. The fact that he feels superior to them is fucking childish.
Like I said, boys will be boys.
He's the #1 retard in special ed. Is that an accomplishment? Thoughts on Texas Roadhouse Blooming Onion?
It's good.
I have no fucking opinion on it.
I'll answer for you. It's fucking awesome.
Reflecting any negative feelings towards each of you that have felt them, including those who have had such feelings they have created demeaning web pages. All I ask of those people who are watching this right now is just take them down.
I love right now, he's like, I'm just gonna be nice, take it down. But soon it fucking blows up and he's like, you have to do it. Like right now,
if you don't take it down, he's gonna shoot darts at you.
Right now, Chris is in the reasoning phase where he's asking nicely.
You don't want to fuck with him. Just wait till he gets angry and turns green and rips that fucking sweater.
Just wait till he fucking puts your head on a doll and then fucking bangs it around and breaks his mic with it.
Like I said, man, if he walked up to you in a biker bar, you'd be shitting bricks. Those are his moves.
Please, I'm asking, as an innocent victim of misunderstanding, just take down your web pages or add them to positively better reflect my feelings as an individual.
They do edit them to reflect your feelings, and they're not nice about it when they edited it.
When you think that, like, he would see that his page on ED is malicious, or malicious in his perception, and then he would, as he's curious of what the site is, he'd check the other pages and see that it's not always the most polite of services. But obviously that makes too much fucking sense.
What's funny is if he would have played the long run, like if he would have just played it out, ED's dead now. None of it's around anymore. Even the archive is gone. His ED is finally gone. If he would have just waited, he could have got rid of ED. Because it fucked itself. The fucking people in charge of it are behind bars. So you would have got your way eventually, but instead you just had to keep fighting, and now you're everywhere. Like, he's on Kiwi Farms, he's on the Quickie. There's probably more websites I can't remember that talk about Chris Chan.
Something awful.
Yeah, something awful. He's everywhere. He asked it again. Thoughts on Texas Roadhouse?
Awesome. Double awesome.
As a person, as a man who has suffered like most everybody in this world that we all live in, thank you very much for your time and listening. And please remember, I'm an innocent person, just like most every one of you. I've had my faults. I've had my share of bad times. I have my share of good times. Please understand that. Thank you again. Take care.
I love that his audio cut out so I couldn't even hear the piece. He just holds up 2 fingers and it ends.
Love it.
So what did you think about Chris Chan's public announcement?
I get a little warm, fuzzy feeling deep down in my little black heart. It's wholesome in a way. Because he believes he's an innocent person who's been persecuted wrongly. He seems to believe it. Or at least he believes his own bullshit. And in a way, I kind of admire it. But, this is just the calm before the storm. Like you said, he's trying to reason and get his way before he has to get angry and show his fangs.
I agree. I think this is Chris that is most held back. I think the angry Chris is always the true Chris. Some people say that the internet turned him into that, but I really do feel like that's the most honest Chris, is when he starts screaming.
That's him constantly. There's no doubt about it. That anger really is him, because your actions in difficult situations usually define who you are as a person, and those are difficult situations to him, so that's got to be who he is.
Yeah, I think the nice guy stuff is just an act to get his way, and then the second he doesn't get his way, that's when he flips shit.
Hell yeah.
He really thinks that they were going to feel bad for him and give him what he wants. And that's what he did with all the fucking things that didn't give him its way. The fucking PlayStation contest, the fucking robot chicken shit. He would always just go in there and be like, guys, I have autism. let me win. And it never fucking worked.
If nothing else, he always wants a participation trophy. Like when he wanted to be recognized for his art and shit.
Yeah.
He always has to have a medal.
Yeah, he just wants to win with everybody else, and he wants no one to ever talk bad about him.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that was Chris Chan's public announcement. I think that this is an interesting look into Chris Chan, and it is the peak of the beginning of the Chris Chan trolling on the internet. We'll find a more interesting video next time. Maybe we'll watch one of his freakouts. I don't know. I'll have to look around and decide. I'm glad that Rogue was here to watch this with me, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
I had fun.
I hope you guys liked the video. See you guys later.